Hey, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the His and Hers the Truth
Mm-hmm.
podcast. This is my beautiful wife.
Sim, great seeing everyone, and thank you for tuning into our channel and showing us some love.
Yes, my name is Tuan, guys. Thank you so much for the recent uptick in of subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, guys, please subscribe to the channel while you're here. If you guys have watched our content, and I noticed there's been a lot more views on our recent videos, so that means there's a lot of shadow watching going on
More
still.
shadow watching.
So, guys, if you guys have just came recently, all the new viewers, please do us a huge solid and subscribe to the channel. We're constantly getting shadow banned because, guys, as you know, the truth, RP content always gets kind of pushed back in the algorithm. Do us a huge solid by smashing that like button and turning on your notification bell. Although I can't promise that the notification bell works every time.
And if you love our channel and you see that, we're working hard to give you all the truth, hey, share it. Why not share it, and then support us.
Thank you. Thank you, honey, for reminding everyone about that because, guys, especially our Asian brethren, as I told you guys this year, I think we really need to build a community of strong Asian men moving forward. As you guys know, recently we shot a live with our brother Asian Thai fam, right, where he gave you guys a lot of good advice, a lot of insight on how you guys can level up as Asian men. Not only in the fitness aspect, but mindset, networking, and it's all to get better results when it comes to the truth. And then, of course, just kind of improving yourself so that way you guys love and respect yourself as well, too, right?
Yeah.
And then, guys, obviously moving forward as well, too, we're going to get new creators, hopefully, or, find within our network, Asian content creators that will give you guys information to level up. And then also, we're going to be shooting a live again here soon about reacting and answering all your guys' questions and comments. Okay, so watch out for that. Have your questions and comments ready. We love answering them on live air. Okay. Speaking of which, honey, we did a video recently, so this is going to be part two of a reaction.
Yep.
And I'm hoping we can get a comment or reaction from our Asian brother Chang from ChangNation.
Reach out to us, Chang.
We've reacted to a few of your videos, bud, and I really think that you have the right mindset in place. I really think that you are a higher value Asian man, which is, like I said, guys, especially in the Washington, Seattle area, it's a hard game out here, as my brother Pham said, right? So I'm sure my brother Chang is experiencing the same thing. So I'd love to hear him, what his thoughts are on how dating and everything else is going out in this market and what his experiences have been. So yeah, reach out to us. I'd love to have an interview or just an interaction with you. And so this is part two of a video titled, "These Type of Girls Love Asian Guys, brackets unexpected." Okay, and guys, watch this whole video and then share and comment at the end.
Yes.
All right.
One thing that Asian guys can do better, they can start taking action in their dating lives. I think it can be really easy as an Asian guy to get in your own head and just think,
oh, like the Asian girl in my class doesn't like Asian guys, so maybe all Asian girls don't like Asian guys. All the guys getting the most girls are not Asian, so that means Asian guys can't get girls.
I know these self-limiting beliefs seem like silly thoughts. However, as someone who used to have those type of beliefs, I feel like it can be really easy to not shoot your shot since you're scared of rejection. I know I was scared of rejection. That's why I, didn't shoot my shot for the longest time, right? Like, you see a cute girl in public and it's super scary to say hi to her. Like, it's really easy to just not take action. But I think what these clips are showing us is you never know which girls will like Asian guys. Who would have guessed that Sky Bree, like one of the most popular girls right now in the adult industry, is into Asian guys? And I think that leads to a second point, which is...
Okay, real quick. Because his first point was take action, right? He says, hey, break out of this your own doing in terms of you not wanting to improve, you not wanting to obviously go and do a cold approach with a girl, DM her or whatever. Honey, I think that's good advice, but I think that's a lot hard, not only for Asian men, but a lot of average men in general, right? Because I really think that this is a average, or let's be honest, non-top tier man problem, right? If you're a top tier dude, man, you have girls hitting on you, or you have the values that if you go hit on most girls, you're going to get a positive reaction, right? Because you're tall, you're handsome, you're rich, whatever, all the values combined. So this is more on lower value, average value men, right? So I think that's a great idea. I think that's great advice. But honey, do you have actually some real advice on how an Asian brother who is an introvert, who's might not be as high value yet, who's still insecure about his values, how can he break out of that mold?
First thing to break out of that mold is break out of your circle, break out of what you're doing.
This is kind of what our brother Fam said.
Yeah.
But go
like,
ahead, honey. Why don't you
out of
elaborate?
your, like break out of your mold. Like if you're a guy who only plays, go to your room, play games, get out of there, go be active, go join a club.
But how do you do that? Because like, someone who's kind of already stuck in this hole, what is a kind of a real advice that we can give that you think that we should, that you can use to
go
break
work
out
on
of
yourself.
that mold?
Work on yourself.
That's it
Love
right there.
yourself.
That's
First, if you're not, say if you're playing games all day, that means you're not active. Go out there, work out, go eat right. If your hair is long, it's dangly, or you're not showering a lot, go shower. Go be, you know what I mean? Like better your hygiene. Cut your hair, make it look nice. You dress better. Don't smell like sweat. I mean, those kind of things is just little things that you can self-love yourself. I'm going to say that again. Self-love yourself. Once you do that, right, you build that little bit of confidence, right? Okay, now go join after school. If you're going to school, you're a student, go join some after school activities, go join some clubs, after school club. You'll meet some people, you mix and mingle, you talk, okay? Don't try to be like, okay, just because I'm Asian, let me just join only Asian club. No, you can join other clubs and meet other people. Break out of your shell, break out of your own society mold.
Okay.
So that's the next step once you self-love yourself.
Great advice. And I think I'm going to expand on what my wife just said about self-improvement. And so for a lot of my Asian brothers, guys, because I was the same way. I was a very introverted person. I kept to myself. Now, I think what a lot of our Asian brothers fall into is two categories, right? One, you're that super introverted Asian dude that literally only hangs out with yourself, plays video games with yourself, right? Maybe you do a little bit of, online video game interaction, but it's not really real, interaction, right?
Those aren't real friends.
And then the other stereotypical Asian men that I can think of is like the ones where they all are in the same social group, right? It's just all Asian dudes. Maybe you toss in an Asian girl here once in a while, but it's just all Asian social network. You're not, quote unquote, I hate to say it, I don't want to diss, but man, we got to call it the way it is. But you wouldn't be considered what most women find attractive as men, right? And so here, this is one of the advices that I had, my experience, and then also what I think you can do to get yourself out of this funk, because it literally is a hole, right? So one thing that you can do is, like I said, start working out, right? Start working out, right? For just your own health benefit, start working out. I know it sounds like, hey, like especially as like an introverted guy, like I'm only into games and stuff like that. I'm telling you, go work out. And you don't have to go to the gym for this, right? You're in your home, you're in your room. Just start doing some push-ups every day. Start doing some sit-ups every day. You get stronger. Do a pull-up bar in your room. Do handstand push-ups, right? Do a bunch of one-legged squats, whatever. But you can just do this in the confidence of your room.
Running up and down the stairs. I mean, I tell my kids all the time, little kids, young kids, they don't have gym membership. There isn't really a gym for kids besides like extracurricular activities for the kids, right? But what can you do? You can do like my husband said, sit-ups, run around at your house, run in place, do stretches, do lunge, do all that stuff.
I know as a person that's never worked out before, now all of a sudden, like, Tuan, why are you going to just all of a sudden work out? Well, I'll tell you why, because two things. One, it's easier for you to do in the confines of your home because now you're not, as an introverted person, you're not putting yourself out there at the gym. Yeah. You're not going to be looked at weird, right? You're not going to be made fun of because you're not in shape yet. But it's going to give you that opportunity to self-improve without any money cost. Yeah. And I'm kind of reaching at your guys' heartstrings as being cheap Asian men too, right? A lot of Asian men, unfortunately, I hate to say it, we're very finance conscious, right? So you can do this without spending on a gym membership. You don't have to pay any exercise equipment or anything like that. Just start doing that, right? So guys, that's a very realistic thing that you can do right away. Two, what my wife said, get out of your social circle of just the stereotypical Asian men. I hate to say it, right, guys, but I feel like as Asian brothers, we're kind of like a crabs in the bucket type of networking, right? You gotta hang out with either one, and this is what we're scared of, either one, more alpha, more outgoing Asian men.
Yeah.
But that's hard to do sometimes because these Asian, more higher, well-to-do, alpha Asian guys, whatever you want to call them, they might look at you as like, man, you're a freaking beta-ass, weak-ass dude, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't want to hang out with social. So what I'm trying to say is hang out with other ethnicities that aren't high value yet. But what these other ethnicities have is already more of a westernized mindset, whether that's black, whether that's Hispanic, whether that's whites, right? Go hang out with other ethnicities instead of just your Asian circle.
Yeah.
Because by default, these other ethnicities are going to have other experiences. And then they're going to be a little bit more open to other ideas, right? So just those 2 baby steps, right?
Just getting out of your circle.
Yeah, break
getting
that
out,
mold.
You know, stop staying in the house. Okay,
Yeah.
like you like games. Okay, fine, play the game. But you know what? There's expos. There's things like that where you can meet people too.
The reason why I'm giving you guys those 2 very specific things is because the working out one is going to get you in shape. It's going to make you not only feel better, but mentally stronger and confident. And then the second thing, breaking out of just hanging out with Asian dudes, I'm telling you, it's going to force you to interact with other people's different cultural aspect, the way they talk, the way they act. And then by default as well, you're going to hang out with those people's social circle.
Yep.
White girls, black dads, white moms. And some of those people are going to be, by default, because they're not Asian, they're going to be more outgoing. They're going to be more like, like the values that people want to have, right, by default. So it's just going to force you to learn how to interact with those different type of social networks. And then now you can become less awkward, right? You can talk to people in a normal way instead of the stereotypical Asian way. So I think, like I said, I know it's going to be hard to break that mental roadblock, but those 2 things you can do.
Just take a few baby steps at a time.
Yeah.
We're not saying, oh my God, it's going to happen overnight. But you know what? With everything else, it just takes baby steps. And if you do not do it now, you're just going to be in the same place. If you don't take chances, you're always going to be.
Yeah, and we'll keep going, but guys, the reason why I say that is because there's always going to be another ethnicity that's going to be into the same things you do. You play video games, I guarantee you there's going to be some white buddies of yours, some Hispanic, black buddies of yours that plays video games.
Yep.
Hang out with them more instead of just hanging out with your Asian friends, right?
Yep.
If like I said, if you don't play video games, but you go, I don't know, whatever
Outdoor stuff.
Whatever you guys do that are introverted. Maybe all you do is go go do hiking. I guarantee you there's other ethnicities that like hiking instead of just your Asian social group, right?
No, they have hiking groups. I mean, I know I'm in a few of them, but I'm just saying like there's just so many avenue that you can go into instead of being alone. No one wants to be alone. I bet you anything. If I'm looking through right now through this lens, nobody wants to be alone. I know. Even though, as much as an introvert you are,
and this,
you deserve to be loved and actually be socializing with other people.
And then this is the other thing too. Even in a very tight knit Asian social circle, there's always one token dude. There's always one token dude or girl. Most likely it's a dude though. Yeah. There's always like a black friend or a white friend that are into Asian girls, right? Yeah. And that's the reason why they're in your social circle, there. Right? Because they don't like hanging out with their quote unquote ethnicities stereotypes, right? Yeah. So they like the Asian girls better. So so dude, talk to those guys more, right? Hang out with those guys more and then interact with them. Okay, guys, let's keep going.
You want to put yourself in situations where it's easy to shoot your shot. This could be as simple as just making friends and then meeting friends of friends, attending conventions such as anime conventions if you're trying to find a streamer girlfriend, or like AVN if you're into more raunchy stuff. As we saw, an OP combination is the Asian guy in streamer or content creator. You could also attend things such as rave. I feel like raves are like one of the most inclusive scenes out there. Everyone is super nice. Now, you don't want to be the guy at raves that's just like being super creepy and only going there to hit on girls, but if you're into EDM music and you like the vibe, I feel like raves are a great place to meet people. I don't know what it is. Everyone's super friendly and in their feels. I mean, I kind of know what it is. However, I do think that like the culture is just so great, and it seems like the people who are into the rave scene are just very welcoming and super nice. So that's another great activity to attend. And then last but not least, you can just, start doing some hobbies that are more social and co-ed. This could be as simple as like rock climbing if you live in one of the more granola states, such as like Washington, or if you live in California, you could start attending like, yoga classes. Even signing up for IM Sports is a great way to meet people. One of my online fitness coaching clients recently got a girlfriend through his kickball team. So you never know where you're gonna meet people. I think the important thing is to really just put yourself out there. The last thing you wanna do is you gotta just work.
Okay, before he says work on yourself. So optimize the environment. We kind of talked about this just right now, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about going to different social circles, honey. But what do you think about his advice? Because there was some good advice in there, but I also feel like there was some bad advice. But what do you think about his advice of like going into some of these environments that are very friendly, and then obviously being a little bit more open-minded, right?
Yep.
So what do you think about that? Like, right? He talked about raves. He talked about, obviously
Well,
different
rave-
hiking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
AVN,
don't be-
prawn,
well, I-
prawn star stuff. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know about the prawn.
And then,
stars.
I apologize. He also said something about kind of don't be like that stereotypical creepy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
dude.
Going to the rave place.
So-
I mean, he's saying that a lot of people are nice if you're just open-minded. Just be open-minded, because there's people like you. Just they're probably nervous the same as you are. They're probably just coming out of their shells. But you know what? If you're coming out of your shell, going out there not acting creepy, trust me, there are people that's gonna be talking to you. And if for you to join, like, say, like what he said, just an exercise club or this club, just don't be awkward. Have fun. Just, hey, you want to get better. The best thing to do with a conversation is say, hey, it's nice meeting you. Why are you doing hiking? And then, go from there. What do you love about hiking? And then you can spark a conversation, just something like that. That's not creepy. That's not being creepy. That's just sharing some interests that are similar to yours,
Guys. Okay, guys, it's baby steps. Okay,
just little steps.
guys, no, like from a man, my wife is a woman, right? But from a man, it requires baby steps. When you're a beginner, your values are low. You don't have game. You don't have an approach. You don't have a lure to attract women, right? The fisherman analogy, right? Or the hunter's analogy, right? You don't have a game plan of how to attract, how to blend in, and how to freaking, obviously, get the right shot for your target, right? And so what he's trying to say is real good advice, but the problem is he's not giving you guys a solution and also the realistic reason on why you're doing it. And that's why I'm trying to say, my brother Chang, I love your content, I love your intention, but you're not really truth or RP aware. Guys are trying to attract women. Guys are trying to get sex. That's what we're trying to do. So first and foremost, let's understand our purpose, right? We're trying to achieve the truth, right? If you're trying to get sexual access, right, not only to gain experience, so that way you can attract the best mate to give you the truth, because I get it. Your mindset should not be wanting to get the first one, right?
Yeah.
It's a process, right? It's learning how to attract and then obviously be able to fish so that way you can catch the big one, right? So my point is realize, right? This is what I'm trying to awaken you guys. First, have the purpose. The purpose is the truth. We want to have sexual access to get our wife eventually, right? But we can't just go from 0 to 100, right? So you need baby steps in between. So yes, join some of these social circles, but always remember that that's your purpose that you have in the back of your head, okay? Because with that, unless you have a purpose, right? Like, for example, if you want to become a doctor, my Asian brothers, what do you have to do, right? You have to go to school. You have to volunteer at the freaking hospital. You have to go put in the time, right? You have these steps that you have to do to become a doctor. Well, just to be good with women, to attract your mate, you got to go do the same thing. So how not to be creepy is learning that process, but have that purpose in mind, because this is the reason why a lot of dudes, let alone Asian men, are creepy, because they want to have sex with women
right away.
But the problem is, they don't understand the process of how to attract women without saying, hey, baby, I want to have sex with you, right? And so you're trying to fight this urge of wanting to have sex with this woman, but at the same time coming off like, oh, I'm attractive. I'm trying to like spit game at you. I'm trying to show you that I want to have sex with you, right? So that's the thing. Learn what works for you. Go into these environments. Interact with other ethnicities that have already started engaging in these environments, right? And then learning, kind of like look by example, and then kind of follow in some of those footsteps. Observe, right? The first thing you should do is observe. Observe how they interact. Observe how they talk. Observe how they dress. And then after that, find your own way of doing it, right? Because every fisherman's going to have their own different lure. Every fisherman's going to have their own pole, right? Every fisherman's going to have their own fishing hole, their fishing pond, right?
Or like the other thing is just like when you're first driving, you know, you were scared to go into the main road. You're just taking little corners here and there. You're driving slow. You're not taking both, you know, maybe both hands are on the wheels, you know.
Yeah.
You're maybe
I'm
things like
just,
that. Just a little step before you speed
correct.
up.
I'm just saying, remember what your purpose is, because without a clear purpose, you're not going to have a game plan for that purpose. Second is the baby steps, right? Making sure that you work on certain things, right? Like my wife said, work on your hair, work on your image, work on your clothes. Don't expect that going to have the right answer right away. I'll tell you guys, before I started wearing suits all the time, I used to dress up like in polos. I used to try just wearing slacks. I used to tried wearing like
Shorts.
different
Yeah,
shoes. In essence, I tried different images and different styles before I came to my style.
Yeah.
And see, and this is the cool thing. It comes, I'll be honest with you, once you reach the next level, you can really truly be who you are. At that point, you can actually come off quote unquote creepy without being creepy. And what I mean by that is you can clearly say your intent to to the woman. You can say, "Hey lady, this is what I'm here for. I'm trying to get with you. This is who I am." But you're confident enough and your style is good enough that it doesn't appear creepy, because to me, creepiness is more of one, not being able to convey what you're trying to do, so you're awkward,
Or stalker.
and two, you're not being honest to the woman,
Yeah.
right? If you're confident, you are who you are, and you say, "Hey, I like you. This is what I'm trying to get at. You know, can we have, like have a friendship? Can we get to know each other?" Women know
Over
what you're
tea,
trying to get
coffee.
yourself,
Yeah.
right? Women ain't gonna say, "This guy wants to be a friend with me because, oh my God, he just wants to hang out
Yeah.
with me," right? Women are smart enough to know that you're trying to get with him to have sex with them, right?
Or a relation.
But when you're not confident about it, or if you're hiding your true intentions, that's when they say you're creepy.
Well,
right?
women will sense it. Trust me, we have like 5-degree or 6-degree freaking sensor just
Yeah.
flying by, so
Yeah. So
they know.
once again, like I said, my brother Chang's advice in terms of trying these things are great, but like I said, I'm trying to give you guys more context by realizing what your purpose is, and then like I said, now that you know the purpose, have the strategies, and then try these different strategies
Yep.
to try to get that outcome that you want. Okay, so let's listen to the last thing.
Work on yourself. Work on your dating market value, become a better looking guy, become cooler, more interesting. And I've already made plenty of videos covering this topic, so be sure to check those out on my channel. And that's pretty much it. I feel like dating doesn't have to be this super serious thing. It's just one of those things where you want to work on it a little bit every day. And then once you work on yourself, you just put yourself out there, meet new people, and then find a girlfriend. And maybe that girlfriend is a top streamer such as Amaranth. Maybe she's big in the adult content creation space such as Skybreeze. You never know what's out there until you shoot your shot. And that's gonna wrap this video up. What do you guys think about the Asian guy streamer / content creator combo? Drop a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Super curious on what you guys have to say. But that's gonna wrap this video up. And just remember, always be shooting your shot. All right, I'm not a basketball player, but I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay, so that was the end of the video. So what do you think about that, honey? One,
like the
obviously
last one,
improving yourself.
Yeah, that's fine.
Two, yeah, I
I don't
really
know about the
about
going for
that,
OFs
yeah, like
and-
shooting your shot on those type of women.
Yeah, prawn
and then
stars,
and then
you know.
two, of course, just continue shooting your shot.
yeah.
So what do you think about those three things?
Well, I don't mind the advice part. Like, hey, like, you know what? Take baby steps. You know, find ways to improve yourself. You know, and then you'll get better. But you guys going head on to a prawn star just because? No, that's not a good advice on that part.
Yeah. So guys,
I wouldn't take that.
So guys, remember, the purpose isn't women, right? So when earlier I stated the purpose is like obviously, getting sexual attraction from the woman. That's only one of the obviously results that you're going to acquire by following the purpose. Remember, I told you guys, the purpose is always the truth. Right? Which is, eventually that you're going to have kids with someone and you want to provide the best outcome for your kids. Now, a lot of people are going to say, Tuan, man, that's kind of a little bit like, you're focusing too much on the woman or you're focusing too much on things. No, guys, ultimately, that's what's going to, trust me, as a person that's been married as long as I have kids that I have, that's what's going to ultimately drive you. So I hate to say it, but I don't focus on my wife, right?
Anymore.
I focus
much.
I focus on what I need to do to take care of my family and my kids specifically, right?
Continue legacy.
Because my wife and I ain't gonna live. I mean, I would hope that we're not gonna live past our kids' age,
Yeah.
right? So we need to take care of them while I'm still on this planet. So my point is, don't focus on the girl, right? So like my brother Chang was saying, right? Improve yourself and then just kind of let things happen. Right, but have a clear purpose of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I want to add to my brother Chang's advice is just
Yeah.
don't kind of live life willy-nilly. Like, oh, I'm gonna get in shape, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna get fame, and I'll just see if something's gonna happen. No, you need to have a clear purpose of why you're using those values, but just don't lose sight of that purpose. Don't get caught up with, oh my God, this girl is the one, and she's my everything.
Remember, you can't change an OF to a wife. That's what they always say. What do you say, honey? You cannot change
Can't change a 304 to a wife.
to a housewife, and that is the truth. You can't, because you know why? They're always
And
gonna be
like I said,
wondering.
even when
eyes
you,
are always wandering.
and the point too is, even when you find the one, that is not going to be the man's purpose. The man's purpose is always leveling himself up
Yep.
for his wife and his kids.
Yep.
Right. So it's by default that they improve, right? It's by default that they benefit, but they're not your quote unquote, your wife
Main.
isn't your purpose,
Yep.
right? So your purpose is to increase your values for their benefit. So as long as you understand that purpose, that's the reason why you're leveling up. That's the reason why you're taking the baby steps to learn game. The reason why to network and gain status and fame. Okay. And then, have a clear purpose of your value, because once you do that, you'll realize what value you fall in.
Yeah.
And guys, we're going to fall in different values, right? I'm not a 6'6" Chad,
Tyrone.
multi-millionaire that
Yeah.
freaking has a lot of fame. And I am a higher level guy, but
Yeah.
I realize I'm not freaking Leonardo DiCaprio or George Clooney, right? So be realistic about your value. And so if you know
And work on it.
and if you and then if you know your value, why would you commit that to an OF star? So right, so
We
what
just said that.
what my brother Chang is saying is wrong. Like, you're not gonna go make $1 million, right, and then go buy a freaking $10,000 car,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna go make $1 million so you can go buy a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, right? And these OF girls are the equivalent of that low value car, right? So know your value so that way you commit to the girl that has the right value. Because man, if you become that higher value man and you commit to one of those 304s, they're gonna damage your damn life.
It isn't gonna work,
It's
and you
not gonna
see
work
half
out.
the stars already that's doing that. Half
Correct.
of these millionaires, billionaires
You can
doing
see
that. It doesn't work out.
Right. Sex is not that important to be falling for that type of woman.
No.
Okay. All right.
Find a better woman.
And then lastly, yes, you have to continue shooting your shot. Right. You have to continue putting leads out there. As men, if you want to find the best woman, right, you're going to have to continue putting leads. But like I said, know the type of leads that you're doing. Right. See, this is the thing. Everyone talks about these things without a purpose. So it seems very just random. Right? Shoot your shot. Well, where should I shoot my shot? If you're shooting your shot in an AVN awards and all you're doing is shooting your shot at AVN corn stars,
They're not
these
going-
aren't wives. These are just for you to learn your game, how to pick up women, and obviously how to have sex.
Yeah.
Right? Which is fine. You can have some of those skill
They
sets.
only want your money
Yeah,
for you to come and view, to come to their expo.
Yeah, you can have some of these
That's
skill
it.
sets. Some of these skill sets will come in handy for you to finally find the one, right? But you have to realize that's not the purpose, right? So have a clear purpose. I would just warn about that. That's what I would like to final, to say at the end.
Okay.
So guys, thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
guys.
joining us. Check you guys next
See ya.
time.
Bye.
Peace. Join us as we give you guys a glimpse into our lives, give you guys advice, hopefully give you guys entertainment value as well too, and provide you guys better outcomes.
Yes.